So picture this. I live in a cozy, older apartment building in Milwaukee with about 15 units. It's a small place, but it's home. I've been trying to get into the art of sourdough baking since August, and I was super excited about my new project. I even named my sourdough starter Gerald. Yes, I know, I'm that person. Now I was feeding Gerald every day, and he was thriving. He smelled tangy and delightful, like yogurt that's just a little too adventurous. Everything was going great until life threw me a curveball. I had to head to Madison for a work trip, and I was going to be gone for 3 days. Thinking I was being responsible, I put Gerald in the fridge before I left on Sunday. I thought to myself, he'll be fine. People leave their starters all the time. Little did I know I was about to unleash a culinary catastrophe. Fast forward to Wednesday afternoon, I returned home, and the moment I opened the door, something was off. My apartment smelled strange. Not bad, per se, but definitely intense. It was like a powerful wave of fermentation hit me right in the face. Curious and slightly concerned, I opened the fridge, and there it was. Gerald had exploded out of his container. I'm talking about crusty overflow all over the shelf. And the smell? Oh, it was super vinegary, like a prank gone wrong. I sighed, annoyed that I'd have to start my sourdough journey all over again. After cleaning up the mess and cracking a few windows, I thought, well, that's that. I settled down on the couch, ready to binge watch my favorite show. But then, around 9 p.m., I heard a thunderous pounding on my door. It was my neighbor Ross from downstairs, and let me tell you, he was in full-on panic mode. He was practically yelling, saying there was a gas leak. My heart dropped. I didn't even have time to wrap my head around what was happening before I heard the sirens outside. Fire trucks were pulling up, and I was standing there in my pajamas, bewildered. The entire building was being evacuated. People were huddled outside, some in their PJs, looking like they'd just been yanked out of bed. Meanwhile, firefighters were rushing through the building with those fancy meters, trying to locate the source of the smell. I was just standing there, feeling like the world's biggest idiot, hoping they wouldn't knock on my door. But of course they did. The fire chief approached me and asked if anyone had any fermenting substances in their unit. I froze. There I was, in front of about 30 neighbors, admitting that my sourdough starter was the culprit. I felt like I was being grilled on a cooking show gone horribly wrong. The look on everyone's faces was priceless. I could practically hear the collective gasp. I had accidentally fumigated the entire building with sourdough fumes. The fire chief gave me a lecture about proper food storage, and I couldn't help but feel like a complete fool. To make matters worse, my landlord was fuming because a fire department visit goes on the building record. Ross wouldn't even look at me, and the lady from 3B, she kept making these passive-aggressive comments about some people being irresponsible every time she saw me. It was like I had become the villain in my very own sitcom. After all the chaos, I decided it was time to say goodbye to Gerald. I threw him away, and I swear I could almost hear him sighing as he went out with a bang. Literally. So here I am, the proud owner of a sourdough starter that turned into a full-blown emergency. All this time, I thought I was just baking bread, but instead, I was the one who cried wolf over a culinary disaster. And now, I'm left to wonder, how do I face my neighbors again?